Round 9 of the Rockstar Energy MX Nationals took us to Deschambault, just west of Quebec City. The muddy conditions led us to a cancelled practice and shortened motos, and as MX2 Moto 1 got underway, Tanner Ward, the intermediate rider, got out front early. Troubles for Davey Fraser as he went down the first turn and came up from last. As it came around the first lap, it was Ryan Surratt, followed by Tanner Ward. That's Jacob Hayes. Number 33, Casey Keast, up with a good start. Jess Pettis, points leader Sean Moffenbauer, and local boy Jeremy Pronovo. Up front, it was a close battle between Surratt, who would end up leading every single lap on this day, followed by Tanner Ward. Jacob Hayes ended up a little by himself. As we look back and see the teammates of Pettis and Moffenbauer going at it bar to bar, the partisan crowd cheers on Pronovo. There we have it. It was like slot car racing here through the mud. It rained overnight and in the morning. As Jacob Hayes looks for an outside line. As they came around again, Moffenbauer had gotten around Jess Pettis, who had disappeared. Turns out he'd fallen in a deep hole and took him a couple laps to get out. And there's Dylan Wright, who was scored in dead last place after the first lap, so he spent the entire moto trying to play catch-up. He would make it up as far as 14th. There's Jess Pettis out from the mud hole. He received some help to get that bike out. Taking the checkered flag and his first moto win, that's Ryan Surratt, followed closely by intermediate rider 184 Tanner Ward. Third would go to points leader Sean Moffenbauer. MX1 Moto 1 blasted off the gate to another shortened moto. This one would only be 25 as opposed to 30 minutes. It was Mike Alessi and Colton Fasciotti out front, and if you look behind there, that's number 58. That's Jeremy Medaglia making his return to action. As they go on the first lap. Fasciotti, Alessi, Medaglia, Gerke. There goes Porcel, Tyler Medaglia. Good start for Keelan Meston. There's 111 Kyle Chisholm, Tim Tremblay. There's Jesse Wentland. And that's number 776. That's Ryan Dowd. Made the trip up from the States for this race. Fasciotti getting a little out. He wanted to stay on top of the track here. Anything on the edges was certainly a risk. And there goes Jeremy Medaglia. And he had Christophe Porcel right behind him and his brother Tyler chasing them both down. Inside line for Chisholm. He had Meston, Tremblay, and Wentland. The three were together as always. Colton Fasciotti making it look pretty easy, actually, finding traction as they come through little slots here, the ruts in and out of the corners. Gerke had Alessi, who had Porcel chasing him down. It would be a good moto for Tyler Medaglia. Jeremy still up in the mix, but that wouldn't last long. Cade Clayson found himself out of the top 30 early in the moto and spent the whole time trying to play catch-up as Fasciotti cruises through. Condolences to Michael Fowler, who lost his stepfather this week. But, of course, in true moto family, he is at the races just like his stepdad would want. Here comes Tyler Medaglia, working his way through some lappers. Gerke had a tiny bit of breathing room, but it was Porcel. These two have really gotten to know each other well and are 1 and 2 in the points. Tyler Medaglia would end up 4th in this one as he got around Mike Alessi. And here comes Kyle Chisholm, who would have a good day himself. Oh, and there's engine troubles. That's a blown motor for number 58, Jeremy Medaglia. That would take him out of action here. And when they came around again, Porcel found himself ahead of Matt Gerke, moving himself into second place. Now the checkered flag. To a lot of cheers from the partisan Canadian crowd. It was Colton Fasciotti taking the win. Second would go to the former world champ, Christophe Porcel. Third to Matt Gerke. Fourth to number 6, Tyler Medaglia. Slightly drier conditions for the second MX2 moto. And as the riders blasted off the gate, it was number 338. That's Ryan Surratt grabbing another hole shot there, followed closely by, that's number 35, Jason Benny having a great stop. While there's trouble for a few other riders. That's Frenchie running out to lend a hand. Get these guys back underway. As they came around to complete the first lap, it was Jason Benny who found himself out front as the crowd goes crazy for him here in Quebec. Second and pressuring, that's Ryan Surratt, followed by, that was Dylan Wright, Tanner Ward. Surratt would find his way around. There goes Benny enjoying second place, being pressured by Tanner Ward and Jacob Hayes. His day would not go as he was hoping. Dylan Wright found himself playing catch-up once again after a fall in the back section. There goes Surratt, followed again, the 1-2 punch of Surratt and Tanner Ward. Jacob Hayes looking good in third. Hanging on still as Jason Benny would have a great day. Comes Jeremy Pronovost. Oh, and there it is. There's what happened with Sean Moffenbauer. That is the result of his crash. The points leader would be out of this one. He would not be able to finish on that damaged bike as the leaders go around. Great day and a top finish there, and 5th overall for Hayden Halstead. There we have it out front as things continue to dry up and start looking really good. There's Tanner Ward trying to chase down Surratt. Much better race for Jess Pettis, and Jacob Hayes is out. His bike motor let go. He set it down, and there is Pat O'Connor, the mechanic, pushing the bike back to the pits. An unfortunate incident for Jacob Hayes. That would take him out at the checkered flag. It would be the first overall win for Ryan Surratt, followed closely by Tanner Ward, who would find himself on the podium in second. Third place to Jess Pettis after a rough first moto. Fourth to Jason Benny. He makes himself up on the podium in third. And Davey Fraser getting across the line after pushing his bike across the line in the first moto. When the second and final MX1 moto blasted off the gate under much improved conditions, it was number 2, Matt Gerke, who would grab the whole shot over first moto winner number 10, Colton Fasciotti, as the rest of the field goes through. As you can see, the track drying up, making for much better racing as opposed to simply trying to survive the track. As the riders go over the jump, they're trying to grab a fresh tear off whenever they get the chance here. There goes Jesse Wentland. There's number 8, Keelan Messon, about ready to continue his battle with those two same riders. Colton Fasciotti out front, and with better conditions, able to do the big marquee crowd pleaser double jump. He did it on the first lap when no one else did. On the second, everyone here you see now doing it. There goes Gerke, and the rest of the guys, that's Tyler Medaglia and Christophe Purcell doing it. Number 111, Kyle Chisholm and Michael Alessi think otherwise. That does Tremblay, and there goes Cade Clayson going for it, making up a little bit of time on Tremblay. As does Keelan Meston. And it was number 10, Colton Fasciotti, who would go 1-1 on the day. Second place, that's Matt Gerke, with Purcell and Medaglia behind him. Cade Clayson continuing to do the double jump, making up time in that spot. Matt Gerke second place, with his rival Christophe Purcell in the championship hunt there, chasing after him. Fourth place, Kyle Chisholm would have a nice second moto. That's where he would end up in fourth. And there goes teammate. You can see the smoke on Tyler Medaglia from his bike. That would take him out of competition, unfortunately. Michael Alessi, fifth place for him. Colton Fasciotti, being from the West Coast, he's used to these wet conditions. Everyone knew he would be strong here. Feeling better. He's been under the weather a little bit the past few rounds. Back to his old self. There goes Gerke and Purcell. Late in the moto, last lap in fact, Christophe Purcell would find his way around Gerke. Matt would not be happy about the pass, as he mentioned on the podium later. There he is in third place. So third goes to Matt Gerke, number 2. He holds a 15-point lead in the MX1 Championship. Second to Christophe Purcell, who explained in French the pass on the last lap. And first went to Colton Fasciotti, who went 1-1 on the day. Finds himself comfortably in third place in the standings.
Careful now, tuck those cans in, ladies, tuck those cans in. All right.